And welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. Holy cow, we got a special show tonight. There is failure already. Thank you for joining us on the live stream, and thank you for the live audience. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There they are. Okay. Woohoo! So this is a new way to do What's Up Wednesday. We've got the virtual audience. Thank you for watching at home. And for the live audience, we're having a vanbaree, as I call camp out. And just want to give a big shout out. See if you know this guy. He's kind of a YouTube star. Who are you, sir?
Nick with Sunshine State RVs. I am so excited to be here with you, Scott. And I'm looking at Scott as I'm here. I should be looking at him on the screen. But no, this is awesome. We have the Class B community. We have lots of people, and we have Scott Watson from Go Small Live Large here. So very
That's
excited.
so great.
Today.
And let's see if you recognize this. Familiar.
Oh, finally, I made it. I made it in the Class B RV world. I'm on Go Small Live Large.
Yes.
It took about 20 minutes. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So what we're going to do different tonight is we've got a live audience. Let's hear it from the live audience again. Live audience. Love that. And what we're going to do is ask them if they have, and they're going to come up and use the audience cam, which is currently pointed at the cowhide. So they're going to come up and come on camera. So let's kind of roll through some of what's going to happen tonight. Again, thank you, Sunshine State RVs, for sponsoring our vanbaree today. So important. And thanks, Hank and Lola, for being here. Yeah. And the Palms, the Santa Fe Palms RV Resort hosting us.
Yes.
So really, anything for the state?
Oh, it's great. No, we send all of our customers here after they buy an RV from us. We have a great relationship with them, and they are. This is a great resort here in Gainesville.
It is. It's really nice, and they have good Wi-Fi. It's awesome. I guess a big thank you for Nick and Hank.
Don't forget Stephanie and Corey and Heather and everyone.
Bethany.
Yeah, Bethany.
Craig was here earlier. We had a whole bunch of people here.
And Lola.
Lola has a very important job. She makes sure the TV is not going on screensaver. Good job, Lola.
And so I'm going to put this on screen. So this is a survey I did earlier today. The question to YouTube was, if you were to ask a camper van expert, which topic would you most want to discuss? Nick, you'll be happy to know the number one topic is, how do I shop for a quality RV dealer and RV service department?
I had nothing to do with that, I promise. I love the answer, but I had nothing to do with that.
So we're going to cover all this tonight, and which I'm really excited about. Let's go here. And these are the topics I'm prepared to discuss with Nick. And but we really want to hear questions from the live audience. Live audience is here, yeah? And of course, you at home watching. It's super important. I'm happy to say we're going to do Libation Live, and we've already upgraded our libation. And so what is this, Nick?
This is a Eagles Rare 10-year-old bourbon. It is a little upgrade from your Evan Williams. I think you can get yours in a gas station. This is what real bourbon guys drink.
Well, yes. So awesome. Yeah, 16 versus 160. Just saying. But look at that picture I took on that's a beautiful picture on my.
That is a great picture. I agree. That is good.
We got this day in history, some interesting facts you may not be aware of. And who knows this band? Yeah, I didn't either. It's a pretty good song. And if you can help us out with our question format, which is 3 stars, 3 question marks, and then type in your question or comment, that helps us see it more readily. And of course, if this is an international sensation, if you don't see your country's flag on the map, please shout out your country. So we need somebody from South Africa and Africa And what's that big one up there? Greenland? I don't know. So if you're traveling, that counts. Fair enough. Okay. And where am I coming at you from? That's my van. That's Miss Lily, Gainesville, Florida. Again, Santa Fe Palms RV Park. That's my new getup. It's nice. It's pleasant weather here, right?
Yes.
We paid extra for that.
I like that stuff on the back of your van, Scott. What is that?
So thank you for asking, Nick. This is a bunch of van gear by Rover Van. They are a new sponsor of Go Small Live Large. So it's a ladder and spare tire carrier, a bike carrier. Look how it's positioned. Love that. And then there's an accessory panel to which my expedition box is mounted and now full of a bunch of stuff that was inside my van.
Everything you want to keep safe from like a car accident or getting rear-ended, you put in there, right?
And burglars, yes.
And burglars, yes.
That's never
love it.
happened
Thank
to you.
Very, very cool looking. Very cool looking.
It's super cool. So if you want to do adventure van light or have a really nice tire carrier with a ladder, we got some big announcements coming up over the next couple of months, so stay tuned on that. But if you're not familiar with Gainesville, it's kind of middle central Florida.
Yeah, north central Florida, about 2 hours north of Orlando, 2 hours north of Tampa. There you go. There's a map. Why don't you show a picture?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is the weather this morning when I captured this. It was 66 here, 72 high for today, but pretty chilly across the. So let's hear it for Florida, right?
Yes.
This is so great. Somebody take my picture.
Scott is like a kid in a candy store today, by the way. This has been the most excited I've ever seen him. He's loving
I like what's
Disneyland after this.
This is so great. So local gas prices is literally all over the board. If you look at the spread, it's $1.01 between the highest and lowest. If you're not using this app, certainly as you travel, Gas Buddy is what it is, and that's how you find reasonably priced gasoline. Speaking of reasonably priced, housing's kind of reasonable up here.
Yes. So around this, I mean, this is real close to the airport. This is real close to the more sprawled out. So yes, in this area, housing is
not where you live.
This is not where I live. No.
That's awesome. Okay. He's down by the ocean. We've got a lot of events planned in December and throughout 2024. Rather than taking 15 minutes talking about those, what we're asking you to do is go to my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com/events, and see what's coming up.
There is one that we should mention real quick. In January.
If you'd like to. Okay.
It's in Cedar Key.
Hold on. Oh, you, man. Go.
Well, in January, this is the first ever Vanbury, and Sunshine State RVs is having so much fun that we're sponsoring another one in Cedar Key in January. I do not know the dates.
We don't have dates.
We don't have dates yet, but it will be in January in Cedar Key. So make sure to mark your calendar. Just mark the whole month of January off, and we'll let you know what day it is.
No.
But we want to help. We would help rebuild Cedar Key. It really got demolished in the storm recently.
Come see us at the Super Show, and then we'll go to Cedar Key.
Then we'll go to Cedar Key.
That's probably what we're doing.
But yes, we're sponsoring another one of these in Cedar Key. This has been the first one. It's been a blast so far. Yeah,
it's we're gonna have so much fun. So watch the website for those dates, and we'll talk about those when we get those on the calendar. Thank you, Nick. It's so great. Let's see what else. This weekend, though. Is it this weekend? Yeah, 25th, right? We're doing. Bill and Joe are going. So we're doing a roundup, which is a meet and greet. It's a sunrise over the sea. When's the last time you saw the sunrise, sun over the ocean horizon? If you haven't seen that, it's pretty special with your band.
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. The 25th, Saturday. It's after Thanksgiving. Yeah, thank you. So again, the information's on my website. If you can sign up, do an RSVP. There's quite a few, including Bill and Joe. We do coffee, we do donuts, and there might be a mimosa or a Bloody Mary involved. Just because it's Saturday morning. Neil and Brett are laughing, but come join us for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And for the Patreon supporters of the channel, we're going to do a Merry Christmas present. Normally, this is for the high level Patreon folks, but we're going to do it for everybody that's on signed up on Patreon. So we're going to do this on December 9, 11 a.m. Central. It's a Zoom. We talk about van life and where we go on van tips. It's a lot of fun. You're going to love that. So join us for that. All right. With that, how am I doing on time? Not too bad.
Through it. That's good.
How we doing, audience? This was so awesome. Okay.
We may be getting some echo, so I'm going to try to mute my mic.
Okay.
Oh, we love it when you mute your mic.
People can still hear me, though.
Oh.
I thought I would check my voice. That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Hang tight 1 second.
I've been keeping mine muted.
Echo cancellation's on. So, yeah, we got a lot of folks on the table up here. Okay, so let's talk about buying a camper van versus other RVs. So the camper van's a very specific way to travel. Maybe Nick, Hank, talk about how do you talk a customer through what kind of RV works best for their style of travel?
So this is actually how I met Hank. So this might be a good one for you because you had a studio and you were trying to get out of your studio and into an RV so you can do your podcast, so you can do other things. Why did you choose a camper van? This is perfect for you.
Well, I think for us, it was during COVID times, and a lot of people just saw this as a good option during those times. I think nowadays it's very, gas prices are going up, all that kind of stuff, and making people get out of big Class A's, fifth wheels, etc. It's just more affordable to get into a Class B van when it comes to gas, but then also pretty much you can go anywhere you want to, right? You don't have to plan a lot ahead of yourself. There's lots of places to find to park. So I think that's the reason why we're seeing more and more people going into the vans. Yeah.
I also think that just the flexibility, everybody here that I've talked to and I've talked to over the years, there's just so much more flexibility with a van. Obviously, some people in their place in life, they can't put all their stuff in a little van, but that's why there's a lot of Class A's and travel trailers. But for people who can, it just gives you a lot of flexibility. And
if it can't fit in there, don't bring it with you.
I agree.
That's
I agree. If it can't fit, you don't need it. But yeah, I've seen, we hear it every day. I've had Class A's, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and I'm going to a van. And the trends across the whole nation, all of the trends are going from big to small. All the trends are going from Class A's to Class B's or C's, fifth wheels to small travel trailers. So the big Class A's and the big fifth wheels are on a decline. The Class B's, even through this downturn, they're still growing every month. They're the only ones that are growing.
Yeah. That's why everyone and their mama is making a van now, making a camper van.
That's a true statement. That's a true statement.
And I would add to that. So maybe if we're not talking, let's mute your microphones. Yeah, thank you. Is that as people get older, maybe they've done the bigger rigs, they just find that the smaller rigs are easier to drive, easier to set up. You put the thing in park, and you're literally at camp. And just the ease of getting around is so great. So let's do a few jingle jar things. So here's Travel Dreamer. Thank you for your support. Awesome panel. I appreciate your generosity there. And here's Peggy. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Bummed you're not here. So let's talk about, because these are two very distinct brands and Nick, or types of vans. And Nick, you guys carry quite a few brands on both, a touring coach versus adventure. Kind of help us understand what one is versus the other. And then what kind of RVer is buying those?
Yeah, so the touring vans are more for people that camp in hotels. They go from hotel to hotel, but they want to have a fridge and a toilet with them. And there might be a night here, a night there that they want to sleep in it, but they don't plan on showering in it. They don't really plan on using it for weeks at a time, a long time. So they're more of touring in it, but staying in hotels. Now the adventure van, and then there's like camping vans where people tend to, I don't know, sleep in them for a long amount of time, kind of like your van, where you are going to be in it. You are spending lots of time in it, lots of nights, lots of different places. But then there's the adventure van, which is like a Storyteller or 27 North or a Rebel that is really made for off-road that can take you anywhere, all-wheel drive, the wheels, the lift, the winch, the LED lights, all the stuff you want. So there's, within the Class B segment, there are different types of vans. And I just think how people are going to use it. I mean, everyone uses it so different that which van is going to be the best fit for you. For me personally, I have 4 kids. They all play sports, and we don't sleep in a van, but we use one. Saturday, I'm going to Daytona Beach to a basketball game, and I'm taking a van with 6 other basketball players in it. There's no shower in it. It's just there's a toilet and a fridge, and we're taking a touring van. So everybody uses them so differently. And I think that it just kind of fits what your lifestyle is and how you're going to use it and what you're going to do, how you can decide which one's the best for you.
Yeah, 100%. And Hank, anything to add to that? You're in a coachman, which is a touring coach, I'd say. But any thoughts?
Yeah, I would say that is more of like your camper van, like Nick was saying. It is all-wheel drive, so it can get a little bit off-road. Maybe drive down some country roads and things like that. I think you'll find the off-road vans usually have single wheels instead of dualies in the back, and they'll be lifted. Maybe they'll have knobby tires. So that's great when you're off-road, but on the actual road, you'll find a van like the Coachman Beyond with dualies, lower. That's going to be more comfortable, easier for you to drive on a road. So that's a big difference, and you really need to ask yourself how much you're going to be off-road, how much you're going to be on the road, and make a decision that'll work best for you and what you want to do with it.
Yours is kind of hybrid, though. You have all-wheel drive, and you have those rescue treads. What are those things called in case you get stuck?
Rescue boards.
Board, and you have an axe. You have an axe on the back of yours.
The apocalypse could hit at any time when you're out there.
I just want to see a picture of Hank using his axe.
Unfortunately, it's going to be the apocalypse. So I don't know if you're going to be able to.
There'll be no picture.
I'll share them with you during the apocalypse.
Lola is dying laughing because she knows Hank will never use an axe. Have you ever seen Hank use an axe? No. He has an axe on his van. This is not necessary, I tell him.
You know what? If you need something and you don't have it, that's worse than having something that you don't need. So there you go.
and I was going to say that if he gets stuck, he's got Lola to push him out.
Oh. He'll be pushing and Lola will be in there trying.
All right, let's take a couple questions from the YouTube audience and live audience. If you have any questions, this is your opportunity right here. So let's look for some good ones. We got a lot of people in here, 130. So give us a thumb up. We've been working on this all day. Let's see. Oh, well, here's a familiar commenter. Hello, all. Here, it's a. Thank you, Scott and Nick. Yeah, they're in the audience. So great. Neil and Britt's in the audience tonight. Great. Join their YouTube channel. Roads of Lives in here.
Good question.
Getting to the question marks. Tink and Carl sitting right. That's so great. Let's see. Looking for the format again. 3 stars, 3 question marks. Got a lot of.
There's one from Roads of Life on there, Scott.
Yeah, here's. So this is kind of a good one. They're all good. Let me get this off screen. I've never had so many screens to deal with. It's very cool. So David Jones wants to know, how do you deal with difficulty getting reservations? The RV room, our RV space is so crowded. So like campground reservations? Any thoughts?
Class B vans don't need reservations.
I don't do
park wherever you want.
I don't do reservations. So yeah. We use Harvest Host, and there's some other places, but you can always go to a Cracker Barrel. There's just tons of places that you can go to. So it's been very seldom. An event like this, we are hooked up. Obviously, we have a reservation here, but I maybe do that maybe once or twice a year.
Have you ever slept like plugged in at night?
No, not unless I'm doing something like this, a specific event like this. I boondock all the time. So
That's the beauty.
That's what I love about a Class B.
That's the beauty of a Class B. I mean, you have the freedom to go wherever you want, not have to pay, not have to wait, not have to do all of it. You can just show up, have fun, and then you leave when you're done. You know, like you said, you put in park and you're camping. You know, that is the beauty of a Class B.
Yeah, you have a lot of different options. So, and if you feel like you're in a place that you're a little bit worried about it, it's easy enough to just get going and get out of there and go somewhere else. So, so far for the last 3 years, we're over 55,000 miles. We haven't had any issues, and like I said, I've not done it unless I'm in a situation like this, or maybe sometimes I borrow vans from Nick, and we try to show people what it's like to live with it for a couple of days, and then we'll rent something. Other than that, no.
Yeah, and I would just kind of add to that if you like the comfort, safety, the knowing of an RV park or a campground, the weekends are going to be the busiest. So do an alternative for the weekends, and think you'll find weekdays are much easier. So the way I roll, it's Harvest Host, it's urban camping on the street, maybe some BLM. And then I hit a KOA about every 6th or 7th day to do laundry, to just plug in, do tanks. And rarely are those sold out except weekends. Audience, any other comments?
Weekends are always tough.
Weekends, yeah. Weekends are pretty busy. All right, good question.
How many people here actually book something versus just stay wherever you can?
Kind of 50-50.
50-50? Okay.
We've been doing Cracker Barrel since we got our Class B, and that has been very convenient.
Saves a lot of money.
Yeah. Cracker Barrel is great. You also get free biscuits, don't you?
You have to buy some. Well, you don't have to, but. Nick, where are you gonna put all those kids in that van?
So in the van, I'm camping in a Coachman Galleria tonight. It's a 24A. The reason I was very strategic about this, my wife is here. You say hi, Mary. My wife is here. She had shoulder surgery 3 weeks ago, and she has to sleep kind of elevated. And so the Galleria 24A has an elevated bed. You press a button, and it kind of lifts it up like that. So we're not putting any kids in it tonight. It's just me and her.
You're taking those kids to.
Oh, the van has a bunch of seatbelts. There's 10 seatbelts in the cruiser, and so in the Midwest cruiser that I'm taking it has 10 seatbelts, so they all fit. That's why every lifestyle has a different van that can fit it.
But you're gonna sleep in the hotel.
Oh yeah, yes,
That's a good question.
yes. We hotel camp. It's called hotel to hotel. Yes, with a luxury van to take us there. It is great.
Look at the questions. So, Sparks Guy wants to know, where's Lola?
She's back there.
Front row.
She's in green.
There. Oh,
There you go. Oh, Lola's got to go stand by the cow. Oh, someone's building.
Yes, there is a little breeze here in Florida today, which is nice. It is.
And Daniel wants to know, why is Nick always smiling? He must really love what he does.
People ask me that all the time. I love my life.
Because he has a secret that you don't know about. That's what
Janelle wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Echo? So maybe explain what the Echo is, and if somebody determines that the van is too small, is this an alternative?
Yeah, so the regular vans are 17 feet, 19 feet, 20 feet, 22, 24. That's like the range. The Echo is 25 feet, so it is a little bigger. It is a little wider. It does have a bigger bathroom, more storage, outside storage. It's on a Ford Transit all-wheel drive chassis, so it's about the same size as like a leisure travel, a Chinook Summit or Maverick, or like a Winnebago View or stuff like that. It is a little bigger. What's very cool, me and Hank were just in Elkhart, Indiana a couple weeks ago, and they are releasing a brand new Echo. I don't know if we're allowed to.
you're not allowed to talk about this.
I'm allowed to talk whatever I want. It's a free country.
There were some people that was come right down here and get you
Um,
right now.
they are releasing a new Echo on a new chassis, and I'm not going to say anything. I won't say anything else. How's that, Hank?
Yeah, it's not.
They
Not
have
a transit.
so it's a Mercedes Echo. They are a Mercedes Sprinter Echo. They are releasing, which I thought was pretty cool because the transits are so hard for them to get, and so the fact that they can actually get Sprinter chassis is a big deal. So yeah, I was excited about it. It's a little more storage, a little more clearance. You know, some cool stuff. So yeah, the Echo's a cool van. Vanish.
Yeah, I think the Echo works if you want to have. You don't want necessarily slide outs or anything, but you want to have more room and you want to have more storage, etc. That's really where the Echo would come in. The obviously both of them are going to be all-wheel drive, so you can get a little bit off-road like we were talking about, and then have a little bit more room at the same time. I think we have some people who are Echo owners, right? Why do you guys like the Echo? What's the big, you know?
Foot wider, you don't really notice on the road. You have the garage space, on demand hot water.
It is about the same size as a Travato. That is true.
14 inches more for the Mercedes.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're about, same as a van if you had accessories on the back, plug rack, things like that. So
Yeah.
really, it's hit or miss, if you're trying to save space, parking, things like that. There's no difference really.
Yeah.
Accessories.
You have a lot more storage too.
And the garage space.
Yeah.
So,
Do you guys think it's also the cool factor? It's very cool looking. Does that have anything to do with it?
The lift already and everything, but have that afterwards. But it's cool, and we've driven all the way to New Mexico, forest roads, have no issues. We got scraped it at all, not got stuck. So
Nice.
pretty capable.
So you guys are taking a lot of places then.
Yeah, we've been
That's good.
since last December.
It's awesome.
23,000 miles.
Nice. The new ProMaster has a 9-speed transmission now, so it's a little better. But
Say that an Echo is a 4-season. That's probably one of the big benefits of that box, right?
Probably one better, I'd say, just because it's actually too much. To be honest, the installation's pretty crazy.
yeah. So the Echo is pretty good. Coachman has a 2-tier installation, so they have a cozy wrap and the Rockwool installation, and they've done a lot with their pipes and all their fittings and all that, and they have tank heaters and everything's wrapped. So their Gallerias are with the Polar package are rated for like 5 degrees without having to do anything else. A Galleria can be in 5 degree, 5 degrees. I don't know why anybody wants to be in 5 degrees. I don't want to be in 5 degrees, but if you wanted to, your van can be in 5-degree weather. I'm a Florida boy through and through. That is not my deal.
Yeah, I avoid the cold. I think Scott, your mic might be off. So that's what someone says.
So this question comes from Roads of Life. You stated vans are selling better nowadays. Why is that the case? They've always been flexible, stealth-like, but now they're not as popular a couple of years ago. What has changed?
That is am I up?
Yeah, you're up.
So vans are selling better. More vans are selling now than ever in history. And it's because the factories are putting a lot more focus on the vans. So they're giving a lot more features. For instance, the Lithium, the new chassis. They're not just on crappy cargo vans anymore like they used to be. They're actually on nice luxury Mercedes Transit ProMaster chassis. They're very comfortable to drive, or in the past, they were not very comfortable. And, Winnebago for the last 5 years, 90% of what they made was Class B vans. And so they've put in so much research, so much into it. Coachman is making one of the best vans. I mean, a Road Trek, American Coach, all these companies are making vans where in the past there's 2 companies that made vans, Road Trek and Pleasureway. And from 1974 to probably 2004, really nobody else made vans except those 2 companies. And then everybody started getting into it. And once everyone's in the space, then they make them better, they make them bigger, they make them more luxurious and all that. So I think that more people entering, more manufacturers entering, they are making they're giving you better options. And so where before there weren't a lot of options, people had to get Class C's or they had to get travel chairs or Class A's. Now you can go look at a Class C or go look at a Class B and be like, whoa, that Class B has a lot of storage. It's very high quality and it's very easy to drive, you know? And I think the trend of our society now is going from everything being big to everything being small too. That is a societal trend as well.
Well said.
I would agree with that. I think one of the things, though, is that if you look at what's going on in the vehicles that people are buying nowadays, they're buying bigger vehicles. So people aren't buying sedans as much. They're buying more SUVs and things like that. And I think the reason why I say that is I think that the benefit of a Class B van, and you say this all the time, it's pretty much like an SUV. So it could be dual purpose. You can get this, you can live in it, and you can play in it. But this is a vehicle you can actually drive every day if you really had to, and you just wanted to reduce down to one vehicle. So.
You guys drive yours every day? I mean, half the hands. A third of the hands are going up here that drive their van every day. And my wife's SUV is 18 feet long, and your Thor Sanctuary is 19 feet long. I mean, there's a foot difference, and it's a van. You know, the Revel, the road tracks, whatever it is, they're only 19 feet long, and an average pickup truck or an SUV's 18. So people are starting to see more that there's a lot of ways you can use these Class B vans. So everyone's getting on the bandwagon, the Class B bandwagon. We actually have some people here that bought their van yesterday. The Gregs, they bought their Road Trek yesterday, and they accidentally got tricked into coming here. This was not their plan, but they showed up. We send everybody that buys a van from us here to this campground, and they just happened to be here. So I twisted their arm and made them come have dinner with us. And they're on their shakedown cruise. You guys remember your shakedown cruise? Yes, they're on that right now. The first van, they're here hanging out with us. How has it been? Has it been good? It's been great, they said, for anyone that can't hear. It's been great. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any questions? Do you want to go to the question cam and ask a question? Come on, Don. Let's see it.
All right.
You got to go to the camera. Scott's been dying to use this thing.
I know.
Get it, Scott. Look at this. Oh, there we go.
But the reason we ended up coming here to Sunshine State was we got on the web, of course, and researched all these dealers. And you go to brand dealer, you go direct to dealer, and you have nothing but bad comments. The sales process is good, service can't get the point, but they don't fix it. I got on Facebook and looked at the road track when I was working there. Yeah. And what everything has been a positive experience. So it's not a question, but you comment and a recommendation, guys.
Sunshine State.
Thank you. Thank you for the praising words of Sunshine State. That was very nice. But I'm glad you guys are getting to experience this for your first time. That is very, very cool that this is your first time camping and it's in a group like this. It's awesome. I know I'm hijacking your show here, Scott. Take my mic.
No, you're fine. Sorry, you couldn't hear him. I'm trying to manage a lot of things going on here. So thanks for.
So let's give a shout out.
to
Overland Citra.
Overland Citrus. Look at this. Ooh. Thank you. Yes, Bethany. What?
Question mic is not working.
I thought it was. manage it from here. Okay. Thank you, Lola Citrus. Next time I'll get the mic on manually. So thank you for that.
Basically, he said Sunshine State is awesome. Hank Strange is incredibly handsome and sexy. And
that was
Scott's
a
all
pretty
right.
one.
Denzel Washington. They say something about Denzel, Brad Pitt? I didn't.
Idris Elba. Yeah, all those words came out.
And we want to give a shout out to Carolyn Smith's Food, Forest, and Homestead. Ask Hank if he got the EMP shield for his Beyond van yet.
The EMP shield. Do you have an EMP shield on your?
No, I know exactly what that is. I do not have one.
You would know what that is.
Tractor, and that's my. Yes, I do know what it is.
No, you would know what that is. I'm saying.
Right, exactly. I have a tractor, so that's what my tractor's for.
You guys are killing me. Okay, let's talk about lithium. I'm a super big.
Let's talk about lithium. I'm a super big proponent of this because I could not travel the way I travel without lithium. I have shore power anywhere I go, any time of day. I drive, I make my own electricity. That solves a lot of problems. Nick, Hank, just kind of, generator versus lithium. You spend more for lithium. Do you get it back if you go to resell it, trade it in? Why lithium?
And maybe just tell them what it is.
So actually, Hank bought a generator model, Coachman Beyond, when he first bought his, and then we turned it into a lithium model. And I'll let you talk about that because you actually use it.
Yeah. So right now we have lithium. We have Battleborn batteries, 540 amp hours, and we do have the generator. So in a lot of ways, that's pretty good. What I would do in the future, though, is just go straight lithium with the second alternator. I think that the generator adds another level of complexity. You have to maintain that generator, etc. But it's worked out. It's worked out pretty good for us. I've got to run the generator in order to charge back up those batteries if I'm not driving enough.
I think so.
And I really think that second alternator can either equal or beat what a generator could create in terms of replacing the energy. But lithium batteries, I think, is a must-have for these vans, especially if you want to boondock, get out there overnight in hot places like hot and humid places like Florida. Right now my setup can do at least 7 or 8 hours, 7.5, 8 hours running the air conditioner without having to plug into anything. So it's a big deal. I know the big problem for folks is the money that goes into lithium. I think it's well worth it if you can do it, though.
Yeah, there's like a race to see who can get the highest amount of lithium in a Class B van, and every year they're upping the amount of lithium because people are really enjoying the freedom that the lithium gives them. It's not just it's not just the idea of having the lithium. It is the lithium gives you the freedom. You don't have to be at a campground. You don't have to be plugged in. You can actually do whatever you want because you are self-sufficient. You are fully self-contained.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the issue with that, and a lot of people miss, is that solar panels by themselves are not enough to regenerate that energy that goes into the lithium batteries. And I think there's a lot of misinformation about that. If you have about 200 watts, that's not really enough. You need about 1,000. So that's someplace I'd like to see change. I'd like to see the price of lithium come down. Maybe as we mine more of that here in America and technology gets better, we'll see that improve as well. But just consider how you're going to replace that power when you use it.
That is true. How many of you guys here have lithium? Oh, geez, 90%.
Everyone.
Yeah. Well, not everyone, but there's. 90% have lithium. People. If you're going to campgrounds and it all depends on how you're going to use your van if you need lithium or not. Some people have lithium and generators. Some people have neither. There's Winnebago Solaces that have no generator and no lithium, and people go to campgrounds or they live up northwest. They don't need air conditioner. So it's just all, a lot of it depends on how you're going to use the van and what you're going to do.
Yeah, I think that's very true. Obviously it's where you're going to be the most, what kind of weather you're going to face. Yeah, that's true.
And I would just kind of add that it's a mathematics problem. If you have 200 watts on the roof and your inverter takes 300 to be on, and by the way, in endless summer Florida, where do you got to have the van to harvest solar, heat soaking your van in 85-degree weather? It just doesn't work. So the second alternator is super important. All right, let's. Our number one question was shopping for a dealer. Nick, you might have some thoughts on this. So, what makes you guys kind of special? And the way I like to think about this is you are interviewing them as much as they're trying to make you a sale because you're in a long relationship with your RV dealer. And if they're just trying to sell you what's on the lot and not really listen to what your interests are, your travel style, I think that's a problem. So I think my advice to my viewers, you've heard this many times, is interview them, the dealer, and even the service people. Sales one thing, service is totally different. Interview the entire team to help make your. But share your thoughts on it, Nick.
Right now, Nick is going to talk about being number 1 in Florida, number 3 in the whole U.S.
What brand's he carrying?
I'm actually going to have Don Gregg come up here and talk about why he just bought his RV yesterday. I mean, I know that he is, he's the poster child. I mean, really, we try. We have a team. When you see me on the videos, you talk to Austin or Angie or Shelly, you call, and then when you buy your RV, Corey gives you a walkthrough, and then Ryan in service department sets up your appointments, and Matt and Ben and everyone works on it. I mean, it is a whole entire team that does it. It can't, there's no way one person, one thing can do everything. It has to be everybody having the same vision. And that's one thing I talk about all the time with our team is it's not about the money, it's about the customer service. It's about serving the customer, doing whatever we can to make sure that we are worth putting your trust in. Everybody who's bought an RV from us trusts us with a lot of money. And so we want to make sure that it's worthwhile. I mean, Eric has bought 2 vans from us. He bought a Travato and then traded in for a Winnebago adventure wagon. There's a reason why that stuff happens. So we really try to do the right thing. We try to do cool stuff like this. And Hank sees it. So Hank's hanging out in the waiting room sometimes, and some customers just laying into me. And I'm just sitting there, and they're just letting me have it about how their RV broke, and it's all my fault. And I'm just sitting there with this big smile, and I'm like, and Hank's like, man, Nick, they're just so mad at you about their RV. And we just, whatever it takes to get it right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say to folks, if you're going to buy something, you want to look for people that sell that thing and they know what they're selling to you. So from what I see of folks selling these Class B vans, because they're so popular, there's a lot of guys out there that mostly they sell trailers of some sort, Class A's, fifth wheels, etc., and then they throw some vans in there. You're probably not going to get good customer service from those folks. They don't know what they're selling you. You need to match the person with that particular van that they're getting. And if you don't understand what you're selling, you're probably not going to do that unless that person knows what they're buying, right? And that's often not the case. So if you find a place, obviously, myself and Sunshine State RV have a relationship, but if you're looking to buy a van, go someplace that deals in just vans and they know and understand what they're selling. I think with Sunshine State RV, you guys were doing used vans, you were fixing them up. You really understand this. This is what you do. You understand how to help people. And one of the things I see a lot is even folks buy vans from other places and they bought the wrong van and then they wind up coming to you. And unfortunately, they actually lose a lot of money that way, because if you buy a van and a couple of weeks later you trade it in, you're almost going to be upside down, right?
Oh, yes. That is the worst story to hear, but it happens all the time. There's very distinct things that we do, like guaranteed service appointments and tech support over the phone, and we valet and pick up the van and bring it back to us. So there's a lot of things that we do that are very, detailed and distinct, but just the overall goal of our dealership is, customer service. It truly is. Oh yeah. Corey's here. Corey gives you the walkthrough, and then he gives his phone number out. I don't know why he does it, but he does. He gives his phone number out to customers and say, call me if you have an issue. Corey has been at this campground at 9:00 at night fixing somebody's RV during their first 2 days of owning it because their hot water heater took a dump, whatever it is. So it is a team. It is truly, truly, truly a team effort. There is no way, I can't give you a walkthrough. I don't know about these things that much. Corey does, and so anyways, I can go on and on. Nobody
and I would say expect issues, right? Because I think you need to understand that you're buying a home and a vehicle at the same time. So expect issues. It's not, there are good builders out there. There's some bad builders, but I think there's lots of good builders, but no matter what, you're going to run into issues with things. And I think that's why it's a good idea that when you buy that van, you take it someplace not far from where you're buying it and shake it out for a couple of days and figure out what's going on before you get way down the road. I saw someone asking about what to do when they buy something and now they're halfway on the other side of the country. What do they do? So you, before you go on that big road trip, you do want to take it somewhere not too far away from the place you bought it from and shake it down.
Yeah, we have tech support for those situations. They call us, we call the factory, we get you appointments at other places. So all of that is very important when you're owning a van, when you're traveling, because who's going to travel within 5 minutes of their house? Like nobody. Everyone travels on the road, so you want to make sure that you can get a service.
If someone, I mean, I know this is something we're talking a lot here, but if a place just wants to sell you that van, they're giving you a really good deal, getting you out the door, expect you're going to have some issues. So that's the thing. If they're just in a rush to get you out the door and sell you that thing, instead of explaining it, breaking it down to you, giving you a chance to try it out and all that, it's highly likely that you're going to have some issues.
Well said, gentlemen. Let's take a little break in sense of it's Libation Live. You're good. So we are originally going to do Evan Williams tonight, but Sunshine State RVs has upped the game to Eagle Rare, and this is good stuff.
Oh yeah, water is it.
I know, right? So if you're not familiar with what this is all about, this is not about watching us drink. Hopefully you're having a libation too, whatever that means to you. We just see a lot of tastes, drinks, harvest hosts, beers, wines, distilleries on the road. And that's how I discovered bourbon. And we've kind of got a little bit of a following here. So we just like to say cheers to you all out there. Cheers to you all here. Looks like a few libations are already going down over here. So thank you, everybody. Cheers.
We brought a big cooler of beer for tonight, so everyone knows the libations there.
Yeah, if you can see the right of the show ends, we're gonna do a big old bourbon tasting. We got 5, 6, 7 bottles. Don't feel obligated, ladies and gentlemen. That's so great. Let's also do this day in history. Always like to do this from our friends at Wikipedia. So let me put this on screen. Here we go. There we go. 11 years ago, the current president of China, he's not really the president, is he? General Secretary, became the Secretary of China, 2012. Seems like it's been forever. I don't know. 52 years ago, Intel releases the first commercial single chip microprocessor. And then 217 years ago, Pike Expedition, Lieutenant Pike spots a mountain peak near Colorado foothills of the Rocky Mountains. It's later named Pike's Peak in his honor. How many have been to Colorado and seen Pike's Peak? It's pretty prominent on the Denver side. It's pretty amazing. So that happened 217 years ago. By the way, the GPS back then was awesome. They're lithium-powered stagecoaches. Awesome. I don't know how they did anything back then. I can barely get out of bed some days. It's pretty crazy. Couple more questions, and then we're going to, audience members out here, anybody? Shout out. We got a few more here.
Someone called you out, Hank. They said 52 years ago, Hank was born.
Woo! Yeah, that's true.
This is for Nick from Jack and Georgia Jack. Is Sunshine RV family owned? Are you owned by a big conglomerate?
We're not owned by a big conglomerate. We are family owned. We're actually building a new dealership right now. We just broke ground, and it is about 2 minutes from our current dealership, and we should be done within the year. So we're very excited to be growing. And yes, we are one location in Gainesville. That is it. We are not owned by any of these big conglomerates. So it's great.
We're going to hope it's working. So we got Rob stepping up in front of the cowskin. Rob, talk loud, or
a number of us are going to the Tampa RV show in January. For Nick, do you have any inside scoop on what might be changing?
Yeah, so
Question.
Tampa is the question was, in case you couldn't hear, a lot of people are going to the Tampa Super Show in January, and any big changes. So Sunshine State RVs is there with Road Trek and Coachman Nova. So I know some of the stuff there. It's been pretty exciting. Road Trek is going to have the Westphalia there, which is very cool. And then Coachman Nova is going to have some really cool stuff there. They're going to have a pop top version, which is nice. They're also releasing some new options and features in their Novas. So a double lithium pack. They're also offering a generator and lithium option. So you have a generator and lithium. They're also talking through some other stuff. So that's some cool stuff there. And then like everybody tends to bring their new stuff to Tampa. That's like the showground. Like everyone's goal is to have it done by Tampa, so you can have it in Tampa and everything, And so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in Tampa. Every year, Winnebago brings an electric van, and they have yet to be able to sell one. But every year, there's some type of e-van there. Thor's brought one. Winnebago's brought one. Airstream has brought one. There's none on the road, but everyone's really trying to do this e-van deal, which is cool. Yeah, there's always some really cool stuff in Tampa. The Tampa show is, if you can get there and if you like RVs, if you don't want to buy an RV, leave your checkbook at home, but just go walk around and look at it. Because if you bring it, the people there can smell your checkbook. And they know you come, no, not me. But it is people get in the frenzy, and they have a lot of fun. So there's a lot of cool vans. Every van you can ever, van, RV, travel trailer, fifth wheel, everything you can imagine is there. Somebody asked about Wingham. I know they have Wingham. Oh, there's another one. The Wingham vans are there. The owners of Wingham have been reaching out lately, and we're trying to get something going with that. So that's a long journey, but Tampa's a cool place, and I'll definitely encourage anyone that likes RVs to go check it out.
It's a lot of fun. I would encourage you to go early in the week. We're going to do a meet and greet roundup, as I call them, at the Winnebago Travado booth on Wednesday morning.
Yep. So Thursday we're doing one with Scott. Hank will be there with us as well, and you'll be with Coachman Beyond. You'll also be with us in Coachman Nova, and then we're going to be doing some stuff every day. I think we do like a big lunch one day. I think Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
One of the days we do a lunch there. Friday, I think
there's food, I'll be there.
Friday, we usually on Friday we have Hank and Lola in the Road Trek or Coachman Nova booth, and we do lunch, Chick-fil-A, and all that. So it ends up being very, very cool. Everybody wants to come and get their picture with Hank and Lola.
Mostly Lola. No one wants to hang out with me.
They hand out these very cool stickers. Look at these stickers they give people. I mean, look how cool that thing is.
Yes, there you go. Very nice.
Okay, a couple of you guys have cracked me up. A couple more questions. So this is a great one. We were talking about buying, selling. So Shelby wants to know, probably Nick, speaking of trade-ins, how are the used B Class B RVs holding up in their value as in comparison to regular RVs, like trailers, right, or whatever?
Yeah, so they definitely hold their value better than travel trailers and Class A's and stuff. But it's right now there's like it's almost like housing in a lot of ways, with interest rates going up, and prices just skyrocketed for about 3 or 4 years, and they are kind of leveling out now. Very, very thankfully, none of our manufacturers have given price increases in the last 6 months. So that is good news for people wanting to buy a new RV. What that's doing is that's just kind of leveling out the trade-in values, but they are holding their value. But what they were worth 2 years ago during COVID with all the shortages, they're not worth that right now, unfortunately. But new RVs aren't selling for what they were selling for then either. So new RV prices are coming down. So the used RV prices kind of follow that. But if you're talking about out of the whole segment, Class Bs hold their value the best.
I feel we're still going into a buyer's market, right? Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, which is great, because for the last 3 years it was not, and it was bad. So now it is. There's deals, there's inventory. You can get what you want, when you want, where you want, and and it's great. I'm glad that people say I want an RV and I can get exactly what I want right now, rather than 2 years ago they could not get what they wanted.
Yeah.
We have a question from the audience.
This one is for Nick.
And talk loud in case it's not picking up.
I heard a little rumor that Sunshine State is getting into the overland business. If they'll give you some more information on that.
So yes, overland is one of the newest segments of the van market in the last year. It has really, really taken off, and it is something that Hank is a big fan of, and so he's really opened my eyes to a lot. But then just seeing there's just so many cool options out there. You know, I've talked to a lot of people here that have overland vans and overland types of vans. It is opened up the possibilities of where you can go in your van. So stuff like the Winnebago Rebels, the Thor Sanctuary, the Adventure Wagons, 27 North is making some really cool adventure vans. Storyteller is making some very, very cool adventure vans. So yes, so we are all in. We are all into the overland adventureland market, and it is something that we love. You love Storyteller. So funny story. My wife is wearing a Storyteller shirt. I'm like, you have a Winnebago hat with a Storyteller shirt. I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't think she can decide. Is that what that means?
She's confused.
But she's sleeping in a gallery.
Right. She's sleeping in the gallery wearing a Storyteller shirt and a Winnebago hat. So very, very funny.
You guys are carrying Storyteller, right? As well as some.
We are. Yeah. So we're getting our first ones in a couple weeks, and we're getting our first Hilt, that big, huge expedition truck. We're getting one of those in January. So that thing is, have you guys seen that Hilt? The Storyteller Hilt? Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Basically an excursion vehicle. Yeah. So.
It's for all you preppers who are ready for the zombie apocalypse.
It's good to see that you're getting into this space, and that this space is also expanding along with the general Class B space. A lot of these excursion vehicles are built on pickup truck basis, but it's good to see you guys are doing that, because if you look at the overland space, we are talking a lot of money. Lola and I were looking at a overland van at SEMA show that was above $700,000. So a custom made one. So oh no, I was looking at it. I did not buy that. No, absolutely not. I wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know, but so I think it's good to see that this space is expanding, and it's going to get more affordable for folks out there and more options.
So a couple more questions. We got song of the week, and we've got our bourbon tasting just around the corner. So the folks are chomping at the bit, I can see. But a couple questions. So Mason Mike asks about Wingham. You've probably heard about Wingham. We did a lot of content with them mid this year. They've been at the Super Show 2 years. I don't have any specific updates. I did get a note from a reservation holder. They had a pretty big price increase, like substantial. So they're working really hard to get those rigs over here from Italy. It's a huge lift. Patience is the key. I think they'll have some information in January, which is not that far away. I still find it a very compelling rig, and I really admire what they're trying to accomplish. I think we all agree it's not a van. So let's be clear. It's not a van, but in the small motorhome space, some of the U.S. manufacturers could use a little dose of innovation. So anything else, Nick, to add to that?
Yeah, no, I've been talking to them as well, and that is something that they've been talking about, is the pricing and trying to get them here and get them, get people who want them to have them. So we're trying, but what's cool is there are other manufacturers that are making some Euro style stuff right now. So Road Trek is probably the one that's I mean, they're bringing that Westphalia. It's a really, really cool van. The Pivot they just came out with, that's a cool van as well. It has some Euro styling in it. Even their Road Trek Play, they just updated some of the cabinetry and all that, and it has that Euro style. So I think people are really liking that Euro style, Scott.
And just to kind of add to that, when I spent the night in the Wingham right after Super Show this year, so January 2023, I can tell you it was a really cool experience, but it was not a van experience. It was like a motorhome experience. So again, it's kind of, what is your travel style? what, how do you want to blend in or not? That thing is so cute. You sort of want to. Can we say dry hump on the air? I don't know.
I think you just said
it. It's really cute, and you're gonna have so many people come over to look at the thing. We get it all the time with our vans, right? So I think it's, I just like my hats off to the team really trying to pull it off. It's a huge lift, and so I think we'll have some more information in January. Speaking of January, we're gonna go just a few minutes late, so hang tight, folks. So what is the best show for B vans, RV shows? Any thoughts on that?
So, I mean, the biggest show in the whole galaxy is the Tampa Super Show. So, I mean, that's a good one. In Ocala, we bring about 50 Class B vans and one display that we have there. So, I tend to think that's my favorite show is the Ocala RV show. We do a big coachman camp out as well. That Scott will be there, Hank will be there, and half of you guys will probably be there as well. So that's a very cool one. The show wise, I mean, that's my experience. Those are the two. I've been to Hershey. There's not a lot of vans at Hershey. Tampa has more from my experience, but I've never been out west or any of that. But I would say flying to Tampa for the Tampa Super Show if you want to go to a van show that has a show that has a lot of vans. That's my thought.
And I would just add to that, if you are really kind of zeroing on the adventure van market, Adventure Van Expo is nationwide. There's probably a few left. Well, I'm not sure this year. Next year, they're kind of the big builders. Storyteller, there's Rebel there, but there are a lot of the craft builders too. And there's Overland Expo. It's not really van focused, but it's kind of like Jeeps and pickups, but there's some sprinkling stuff.
There's more and more vans. They have that on the East Coast, West Coast, Central, etc. So there's lots of options there.
Scott, there's a great question here. I'm going to ask you this question. Scott, are you still committed to your Travato? I wonder with all the fun new vans out there that you'd be tempted to get a new one. Would you like to answer that, Scott Watson?
I would be delighted. Show me a floor plan that trumps what I got. And I would be very tempted. The adventure vans are very interesting to me. They're very well built. They don't have a toilet in most cases, and that's kind of a non-starter for me. Committed to Travato overall. Just show me a better. To me, it's about floor plan. It's about floor plan that enables the way you want to travel. I like 4 distinct living areas in my van. Many of the Travato 59K floor plan is galley behind the driver's seat, 2 twin beds, bathroom in the back. It's a big open space, but you're always, in my opinion, might offend you, you're always living in your bedroom. And for me, I just like the 4 distinct living spaces. So somebody come out with a floor plan similar, better than the 59G, and I could be interested. But then I have to wrap it and lift it and put the Rover gear on it. But
I got a friend of mine in Indiana that might talk to you about some floor plan stuff.
So can I ask you this, Scott? How come no one, or maybe someone has come to you, a company, and said, "Hey, Scott, design a floor plan for us"?
We've actually thought about doing some workshops and inviting people in to kind of think through that, because I'm looking for innovation. I'm looking for quality. I'm looking for floor plan effectiveness that enables your travel style. So we got some secret projects we're working on with a builder, big guy. So I think there's room in the space to do things differently, and this is a good time because while the volume was good, it wasn't like the COVID craziness, and people are looking for customers are looking for differentiation, and they're looking to differentiate their brands. And the Me Too thing, 59K copied by everybody who's copied the 59G floor plan. Adria, go to Adria Mobile. Just Google search Adria Mobile. It's a European brand, and you'll see what I'm talking about. That's what I. Have you guys seen that? I will show you tonight.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So I'm pretty happy. Lily's doing pretty good. I don't know. Show me something better. Get me excited. Good question.
That was a good answer. That was a good answer.
I can hijack your show and I can ask you the question, put you on the hot seat sometimes.
Well, let's do this. We want to do Song of the Week. Project, managing all these screens. I might have to get some new gear if we do this again, because this is so this is the Song of the Week, and it really should be a CD because these guys are out. So not Bush City Limit, made famous by Tina Turner, right? And this is kind of a twist on that song. Pseudo Echo is the name of the band. They were formed in 1982. I was a junior in high school, so it goes back a minute. It's kind of Australian new wave. They did a 1986 cover of Funky Town that's really interesting, by the way. It was their biggest selling hit. And
that
then
makes
they did
me
this.
older than you, by the way.
Huh?
No, actually, no. You're older than me. Yeah, you're older than me, Scott. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I'm kind of an old guy. Well, this guy too. I've been getting AARP stuff for like 5 years. So, do the math. I'm born in 65. But give this song a try. It's really a toe tapper. It's a twist on an old song. And if this YouTube thing goes well, I might pick up this guy's look.
You should. You should. I like that, Scott.
I know, right? That's pretty funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. Any last questions from the audience? We got bourbon up, so I'm very serious about the bourbon stuff.
Hey, what's a toe tapper, by the way?
It
You tap your toe to it?
taps your toes, but you can't help but tap your toe.
Interesting.
Right.
I was going to ask a different question, but
I'll get in big trouble with Lola, so I'm going to leave it. Let me just put it that way.
This is what we're going to do next. This is our bourbon tasting. So we got our 5+, and we're going to have folks kind of grade. So beginners welcome. And again, for those of you that donate money to this, that goes directly to the bourbon fund. So when we get together, we can share taste and help you determine what is your favorite taste of bourbon. And if you don't like bourbon, that's fine. Show up anyway, right? More for me.
Yes.
Last chance, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. Let's go hoop, hoop, hoop for these guys and for all of you for coming.
Thanks, everyone. All the folks out there in the chat. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, everyone here. It's been awesome.
Yeah, this has been fun. I'm glad we did. I'm
Let's
glad
get-
you put this together, Scott, and invited me and Hank. And
I'm just so, it's truly a dream come true. I mean, every year there's a peak to peak to peak. And I was waiting for when are you going to stop doing this? And I just feel like we're getting started, even though it's 5 years in. Thank you, gentlemen, both of you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching.
You got some more change in there.
Oh, I see it. I'm the brown.
I'm the brown. Yeah. That's one of my people, so I'm going to put a tax on that.
That's good.
Okay, I'm the brown says you guys are really trying to get me to come to Tampa in December.
I don't know what's in Tampa in December.
Oh, it's in January. The show's in January on the brown.
That would be one of your friends, Hank. He's in show in Tampa in December.
Yeah, go ahead. Come in December. You can stay at such a state RV. But thanks so much. We appreciate that. Thanks for supporting Scott. He's awesome. Scott, you rock, man. I was looking at you way before I started doing this, and you said this is a dream, but I'm pretty proud to be up here with you and Nick doing this. Yeah, I think we're like changing the whole industry here with this, man. It's pretty amazing.
Well, we're helping people realize what their priorities are, helping change life. If you got your van, is your life better or worse after
Better.
van?
Better.
Everybody said better, by the way.
Yeah. I'll never not have a van.
100%. And
Yeah.
I think
You have two now.
I've got two right now. That's right. I might have three soon.
so. Again, thank you, live audience. Thank you at home. We're going to call it a wrap, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And visit the website soon. A lot of events coming up. We'd love to see you in person because to me, this is what it's all about. So, peace
Thanks,
be with you.
Thank you.
Cheers.